my gloves on because things are about to get dirty with James Madison. Yes, indeed, folks. We are talking about the court case Marbury versus Madison. So you have John Adams, who's a Federalist. He is now leaving the presidential office, and in comes Thomas Jefferson. But what's this? You have John Adams being accused of packing the courts with Federalist judges. So at the very last second, John Adams is trying to fill in these vacant seats in the different federal courts with the judges of his choice, but there wasn't enough time for him to deliver the little slips of paper to these judges saying, hey, guess what? You got the job. And when James Madison, the new Secretary of the State, comes in, he's like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not handing out these papers. Now we have William Marbury, who was one of the appointed judges. He decides to sue directly in the Supreme Court because he didn't get his appointment. So Marbury brings this to the Supreme Court, and the question is, can the Supreme Court actually hear this case within its constitutional jurisdiction? And this is John Marshall's opinion. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Marshall interprets Article 3 of the U.S. Constitution that this case, Marbury versus Madison, is not within the Supreme Court's jurisdiction, so it has to be filed elsewhere, but it can be appealed within the Supreme Court. Because of this case, Marbury versus Madison, we now have what's called judicial review. But people, I need you to understand the humor of this, okay? So imagine you're James Madison and you came up with this great idea for a new government because the old one needed some work. And so you're like, yo, let's just start from scratch. Let's create a new one. So you attend what's called the Philadelphia Convention, aka the Constitutional Convention. And the delegates, after months of arguing about this new plan that you created, they all parted ways to their home states to get this Constitution ratified. So you head back to Virginia, you know, trying to get your plan ratified. And there you are, in the midst of debating, telling everyone why this is a great idea, why it will work, all the trouble, the pains, the sleepless nights that you thought of, you know, just like come up with this idea. And there's like some kid in the front row just like scribbling things down, you know, just like taking notes, you know, like listening to your lecture, okay? Fast forward some years, and that same kid, like just figuratively speaking, just pulls out his pack of notes that he took while at the ratification convention in Virginia, and basically tells you this his reasoning for his ruling for this case that you're a part of. Honestly, James Madison, he didn't show up for Marbury versus Madison. He refused to. But anyway, just like I said, just appreciate the humor of the fact that this kid is using your idea against you, basically.